Two things God cannot do. God, He cannot lie. God cannot change His mind. God cannot change His mind. And I'm going to add number 3 here. God cannot fail you. Man may fail you. Man may fail you. We are mortal bodies who can fail at any time, but God cannot fail you. That's why it's important for us to put our trust in God. Trust God. Stand on the word of God. God cannot fail you. God cannot lie, and God cannot fail you. God, He is to be believed. God is faithful, too faithful to let you down, too faithful to let you down. Whether it is that sickness, He is too faithful to let you down. Just wait on His word. Wait on His word. Waiting on the Lord because He cannot lie. We don't wait on the Lord because of just a false hope. We wait on the word of God, and we wait on God because we know and we understand God cannot lie. Psalms 130 verse 5 says this: I wait for the Lord, my soul does wait, and in His word do I hope. Where is your hope in? Where is your waiting on? What is it that you are standing on as you wait for God, especially in this season of the pandemic? What are you waiting on? Who are you standing on? What is it that you are believing God to do that He cannot do? God says, I can do, I will do, I have promised, and I will do it. As you wait on God, understand that God cannot fail you. God cannot lie. God cannot change His mind. Psalms 27 verse 14 here says this: wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Yes, wait for the Lord. Wait for the Lord. Waiting is one of the most difficult things in our Christian lives, because we want things to happen so fast. And you find that there are so many people in our lives that want things to happen so fast. But waiting on God is a beautiful thing, because when you wait, God, in that waiting, He is going to be preparing you to take your place, to take your position. And when you get hold of those promises of God, guess what happens? What happens is that you have the stability to even enjoy them. Abraham and Sarah, after God had promised them in their Abraham 100 years, Sarah 90 years, God fulfilled His word. God had fulfilled His word. Sarah had a son. Joseph, after going through a detour of being thrown in the dungeon, being in slavery, as well as being in prison, God fulfilled His words. Whatever God says, God cannot lie. God's character and nature is founded on the following powerful principles. Understand this. 1, He cannot lie. That is the characteristics of God. Number 2, He cannot change His mind. That is the nature of God. Because God does not lie or change His mind, we can boldly declare that nothing can ever separate us from God's love. Neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither our fears for today nor our worries about tomorrow, not even the powers of hell can separate us from God's love. No power in the sky above or in the earth below, indeed nothing in all creation will ever be able to separate us from the love of God that is revealed in Jesus Christ. Nothing can separate us from the love of God. Why do I love God so much? It's because God is faithful. God is trustworthy. He cannot change His mind on me. He cannot change what He has said He will do for my life. He's a good God. He's a faithful God. He's a God who we can trust. Whatever your season is today, I just want to encourage you. I want to encourage you and to tell you this: God is trustworthy. You can trust God to to bring to pass what He has promised. What He has promised, He will do. And what He does, it cannot be undone by no man. God is a faithful God. God is faithful. He can be trusted. He is a trustworthy God. He is a God that we can put our faith in, especially in this season. Put your dream in God. Put your vision in God. Put your future plans in God. Put your family in God, because God can be trusted. There are wolves out there. There are demons out there that can destroy what God intends to do in your life. So don't just trust anything and everything. Trust the word of God. Trust God Himself, because He is a God who cannot lie. He is a God who cannot fail you, and He is a God who can never change His mind. Trust me, as you are going through a season maybe of waiting or waiting on God, I want you to know this. In the waiting, God's presence is there to carry you through. So you're not just waiting in vain. Preparation is very important. We find the word preparation in the Bible 159 times. Why? Both in the Old and New Testament. Why? Because as we are waiting on God, as God has spoken His word of what He intends to do for our lives, or He intends to do in our lives, we ought to learn how to wait on Him. Why? Because He does not lie. He doesn't change His mind, and He can never fail you. That is our God.